In this video, I'm going to show you 5 interesting ESP32 projects that you can try using just the ESP32. So let's start with the first project. The first one is a Wi-Fi configurator for the ESP32. Normally, when we want to connect the ESP32 to Wi-Fi, we have to put the Wi-Fi name and password directly into our code. But what if you don't know the Wi-Fi credentials beforehand? Well, that's where this project becomes really useful. Simply upload the Wi Fi configurator code to your ESP32 and it can scan for the available Wi Fi networks around you. You can then see the list of networks and simply select the one you want to connect to, enter the Wi Fi password, and hit connect. And that's it. Your ESP32 is now connected to the internet without having to hard code the Wi Fi credentials into your program. And this is where things start to get really interesting because once your ESP32 has an internet connection, it can do so many more things. It can communicate with web servers, access APIs, send and receive data, control devices remotely, and even interact with different online services. Now, for the second project, let's do something a little more fun. How about playing the classic Dino game using your ESP32? And the best part is, you don't need any display or sensor for this. All you need is your ESP32 and a laptop. Simply flash the code to your ESP32 from the website. Once the code is uploaded, the ESP32 creates its own Wi Fi network, so it works as an access point. Now take your laptop and connect it to the Wi Fi network created by the ESP32. Once you're connected, open your web browser and enter the IP address shown in the project instructions. And there you go. The Dino game will open directly in your browser. Now, here's the cool part. You can use the boot button on the ESP32 as the jump button. So whenever the dinosaur needs to jump, just press the boot button and that's it. Now for the third project, let's take the ESP32 to a completely different level. This one is called ESP-Claw and it's Espressif's own open source framework for turning an ESP32 into a local AI agent. Instead of just running a fixed program, the ESP32 runs its own sensing reasoning action loop on the chip itself and calls out to a large language model like GPT, Claude, Quen, or DeepSeek whenever it needs to reason about what to do next. Think of it as giving your ESP32 a little brain. You can talk to it through Telegram, tell it what you want, and it figures out what to do, then brings your command to life by controlling things like LEDs, displays, or motors. And because it's running on an ESP32, you can build this into all kinds of projects, from smart automation and IoT applications to AI powered devices that can interact with the real world. The interesting part is that you don't need to connect a bunch of sensors to get started. You mainly need the ESP32, the ESP-Claw firmware flashed onto it, an internet connection, and an API key for whichever LLM provider you choose. Once everything is configured, you can chat with your ESP32 through the AI agent and start experimenting with what it can do. Now, for the fourth project, let's build something really interesting using two ESP32 boards. Imagine you have two rooms in the same house or office, and you want to send a quick message from one room to another, but without using a phone or any messaging app. That's exactly what this project does. You can place one ESP32 in each room. Each ESP32 has a boot button and an onboard LED. The boot button can be used to send a message, while the onboard LED can be used to receive and show the message as a simple Morse code like indication. For example, if someone in room 1 wants to send a message to room 2, they can simply press the boot button in a specific pattern. You could even create your own simple codes for different messages. For example, one pattern could mean come here, another could mean I need help, and another could simply mean message received. This is a really simple project, but it demonstrates an important concept: wireless communication between ESP32 boards. And to make it a little more interesting, you can also connect a simple buzzer to the ESP32. And now for the fifth and final project, we have something really interesting: the ESP32 Wi Fi decoder. This project lets you learn how Wi Fi connections work and what happens when a device gets disconnected from a Wi Fi network. The ESP32 can send special Wi Fi management messages that can make a connected device disconnect from the access point. So basically, with a small ESP32 board, you can turn it into a simple Wi Fi security testing tool. But remember, you should only test this on your own Wi Fi network and your own devices. Don't use it to disconnect other people's devices or disturb networks that you don't own. For testing, you can simply create your own Wi Fi network, connect your phone or laptop to it, and use the ESP32 to understand how the connection behaves. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next ESP32 project.